Greetings and welcome to Dropping Gems After Show. In this show, we will be doing extensive interviews, demonstrations, and more. My main show, Dropping Gems, is now being aired nationally, but can be streamed on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Alexa through Rude Rangers TV. This episode of Dropping Gems After Show is sponsored by Dropping Gems Academy and Dropping Gems Publishing. To learn more about maintaining a holistic lifestyle, visit www.droppinggemsacademy.com.
Would the weather keep you from going outside today? Don't suffer from annoying allergy symptoms. Claim your free gift. www.keishagems.com/courses. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Dropping Gems Academy is offering certifications that can allow you to turn your investment into a certified holistic practice. Use this introduction course as an all-natural alternative seasonal year-long allergy treatment option. Empowered with knowledge, you can help me spread awareness with the rest of the world. Driven by a passion for holistic studies, Author Keisha Christian has listened to your requests and expanded the techniques shared in her acclaimed resource guide, Holistic Gems: How to Treat Seasonal and Year-Long Allergies Naturally into a full online course. The second installment in her published Dropping Gems series has inspired parents, teachers, naturalists, the therapists to reassess the way they handle seasonal allergy symptoms. Now this course will help you do the same. Sign up to get your free gift. The first 10 registrants get 50% off using the code DroppingGems50 at checkout.
For inquiries, for sponsorship, or advertising on this program, email info@KeishaChristian.com for more information.
Dropping gems from Keisha Christian. She's on a mission, sharing information, knowledge for soul, body and mind. Dropping gems, KeishaGems.com, KeishaGems.com.
Welcome back. On today's episode of Dropping Gems After Show, we have an extended interview with Lauren Wells, also known as LC. She is a holistic health and fitness coach, helping women adapt holistic, realistic lifestyle habits to get fit, lose belly fat, and eat more plant-based foods. She is great at simplifying the complexity in today's health and fitness world to help women feel mentally, physically, and spiritually confident. Lauren, thank you so much for coming on.
So, back in 2009, I enlisted into the Navy, and you go to school, college, and I was just like, this isn't the life. Like, I need something to pay off my student loan. So, what the heck? And that's when I started to have to work out because I never worked out before. And I enlisted, and then I started getting into really starting to like it. People started coming to the gym with me, calling me their trainer, and all of that. And shortly after I did the whole enrollment, I was in the delayed entry program for about 9 months. I didn't even end up going. I got kicked out because I had an injury on my leg. I burned my leg. So now I'm like, okay, what do I do now that this isn't happening? It took some years to figure it out, but I always kept into fitness. I'm still going to the gym. Wasn't quite there yet as far as eating clean, but I that was something that still kept me sane and happy. And then eventually I was like, you know what? One of my mentors told me, find something you love to do that you will do for free but get paid to do it. From 2010 up until 2013, I will always be like, okay, come to the gym with me. I always knew the body all these years. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get my certification. So that's when it really started as a business. 2013 was when I really jumped on and started to really take it serious on helping others to take care of themselves. And then I just started to get deeper and deeper with learning the body. I have my own ailments over the years. This is when I learned that fitness is great, but it's not all. It's literally the last piece of the puzzle. because I ended up having some health issues, had thyroid dysfunctions, was diagnosed with 2 autoimmune diseases, and that's when I started to kind of study the body a little bit more, started really going from the Western philosophy, because I was doing like nursing, I worked in pharmacy for 4 years, and really started learning like from the root of the cure rather than just healing with symptoms. And that's when I started getting into more of like indigenous practices, Ayurvedic, gut health, learning that. And I've been able to help and heal myself. And I was like, this can help with my clients, you know, that I'm training. And that's when that side started to really adapt about 2014.
Oh, nice. I just love the fact that it's like I feel like the universe was bringing you to this point, because the fact that you wanted to study medicine, you initially thought, oh, hey, I'll be a doctor, and then like, no. But
you're gonna be the preventative.
Yeah, but you really were doing it. I think you were led to that because you had to learn about the body, and then not only that, the fact that you were in pharmacy, so you're learning about pharmaceuticals, you're learning about drugs and how they interact with the body. So that's a nice blend. So even having you as a coach, it's a really great background.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything when we look at it as like being, you might consider it being negative, it actually was for your good, and you could use that too. I like how you took that and you used that to help you move along and better your business and to go into this field.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's when I started noticing. I'm like, okay, I went through all these things, especially with the whole Navy thing. Like that was so bizarre. Like, you know, I never took something such a big leap like that. And for it to not happen, I was like, okay, there has to be some shift. So like you said, I was studying. I wanted to be a doctor. I'm like, not to go to school that long. Kind of went into nursing and learned about that, worked in pharmacy. But I didn't do the fitness side at all. You could not pay me to work out. So if it wasn't for my experience with training for the Navy and getting prepared for all those things, that is kind of like I got the best of both worlds and experience, and like literally took all those experiences and made what I am today and what my business provides.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Can you explain to the audience, how do you help your clients? What are some things that you do to help your clients?
Yeah, good question. So there's about 3 modalities to my business. So as a personal trainer, I'm a certified fitness trainer, and I do personal training. So I usually do training in Manhattan, in the Times Square Hell's Kitchen area, but we're closed right now because of COVID. So I'm completely virtual. I've had virtual as well. Like before COVID, I had some clients that I worked with virtual. Then I have a group fitness side that I started. And this is for like great beginners or someone who wants something like more fun, more cardio, aerobic enthused. I have a class called Curl Sweat, and that's a culturally infused aerobic fitness class where we do like, you know, dance to a lot of different music like soca, reggae, hip hop, all across the board. It's so fun. I love that class. It's kind of like, you know, just to step out, because everybody isn't at the point where they're ready for like, you know, heavy strength training, foundational training. Some people don't even like to work out. So that's something to get people moving. And let me tell you, we sweat. Like it's just so much fun. The music is like, it's like a very high energy class. So I have Curl Sweat, and then I also do holistic health and nutrition and lifestyle coaching. So that's the aspect where I focus on, like, you know, cleansing gut health. We do as far as like cleansing, detoxing. I really work with people coming on board to do like a 30-day transition. So I have a 30-day transformation where I do a 30-day mind-body healing. So this can go where you work with me private one-on-one if there's like, you know, some specifics, where I have a few clients that have other autoimmune issues. And then I also have a side as far as like a group where we do like a 30-day transition program. So this is where we focus on, you know, adjusting to have more plant-based food. So whether you want to become like a vegan, a vegetarian, pescatarian, or even if you just want to start cleaning up your diet, like not everybody is, but it's like a perfect way to kind of transition. I've talked about many times, and this is something I've experienced, we can start eating clean all we want. Like, you know, you just like, okay, I'm going to start eating clean. And then you'll probably do it for a while. And then you're like having these cravings. You know, you just can't keep on top of it. and I always say this has a lot to do with gut health. If you don't clean up your gut, it's just like a car. You cannot put this great premium gas in a car without getting an oil change, cleaning it out. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't have all these years of the way we ate junk food, or you might have been on antibiotics that was very harsh on the gut, and all those things. So we start to adjust those things, kind of like clean, detox, remove parasites, any kind of bacteria and things like that from the gut first, and then start putting in those healthier foods. And I find that my clients have such a great transition on and able to keep up that lifestyle by doing it that way. So I've started really implementing that about 6 years ago for clients, and they have like the best results. So those are all the ways that how I mostly work with clients.
That's nice. So your first modality you said would be the physical, where you actually go through. The second modality that you discussed, you're talking about basically that would be the nutritional part. What was the third modality?
Well, there's two sides. So it's just fitness and nutrition and lifestyle. It's two platforms on the fitness side as far as one-on-one private. My apologies. So one-on-one private, and then the group fitness class.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so there's two modalities, but 3 avenues. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I like that. And that class sounds fun. The curl sweat.
Oh, it is.
You talk about the reggae and soca. What? That's my music.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes, every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, and it's virtual. So people can join everywhere, because I had the first class in Harlem, but only people in the area, it came. So it's actually a lot of fun. I get such great feedback from the class, and yeah, I would love to have you in here. It's always a pleasure doing that class. I have a good time. So we're starting back the week after next, because we took a little break this week.
Okay, so that would be you're starting back in July.
Yeah, because but the 4th of July weekend we're off, and then we're coming back for the 11th.
All right, so the second week in July, you're coming back. Okay, cool,
Yep.
Cool. I'm giving away a Roku Premiere valued at $50. You could do 4K, HDR streaming on live TV, and your favorite cable channels. In order to win this Roku Premiere, all you have to do is follow and tag me at Dropping Gems with a Z on Instagram in a meditative pose. Use the hashtag Meditative Moment Challenge. The winner will be selected on August 5th. Can you tell me, how did you get started as a coach, really? Like, what made you even want to really go in this avenue? I know you were doing the physical fitness. You were doing that. You kind of started as being like what they would call you, quote unquote, a personal trainer when you were in the military. But what made you?
And that used to annoy me. It was so funny.
You didn't take it as a compliment?
I didn't get it because I didn't see that in my mind, because I was like, I went to college to do, I was in rehabilitation, but I was going to do occupational therapy. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to be an occupational therapy, and I didn't quite see that fitness can be like a really successful career. So I was like, stop calling me your trainer. We just work out together. And I used to get like so annoyed with it. But now I was like, wow, that was like God talking to me all these years. It took 3 years to kind of get it. But I just figured like, I didn't think like I knew what I was doing or really helping them. They just work out with me. So yeah, it's funny.
That is so cool. I really like that. How, we get these signals from the universe. And at the time we don't accept it. And then like we have this aha moment like, oh, that's what I'm supposed
all
to
do. All this time. Yeah. And it's right there under your nose the whole time. Like I was just like, it was just right there. Like people were calling me that. And the fact that it used to make me so annoyed is hilarious to me.
But that's so cool. I like that. And they're probably seeing how some of your colleagues or who you met in the military probably seeing your progression. I'm sure they're proud of you as well.
Yeah, some of them that I used to like work with, we go to the gym and stuff together. They were like, "Wow, I always knew it. I always said you were." So yeah, but how to answer your question, like how I got in, like really with the coaching aspect, I had another friend, but it took this one time where she was just like, I guess maybe the way she worded it, or when you keep hearing something, you finally kind of was just like, why do people keep saying that? It took one person to really say, hey, can you be my fitness trainer? Like, can you be my coach? You're really good. You know the body. And, I'm going through a lot. I need to start working out to feel good. And I was going through a rough patch at that time. And I was like, yeah, like, I need to get back into the gym. And I just took it so serious. I used to go there with a notebook, track, and everything. Like, I took it on rather than, like, we worked out together. But everyone else in the past was more just kind of like, we working out, follow me. And, like, I took her so serious that was the shift for me, when I was just like, I wonder what this is like, because I was an entrepreneur trying different things out there. And I was just like, and like I said, my mentor, I kept telling her, I need to find something. I don't know what I want to do. And I was like, I don't think I want to try to re-enlist back into the military. Like, I was just stuck again. And when she said that statement, as far as finding something you love to do that you'll do for free, but get paid to do it. And all that time, I was just like, going to the gym, helping people work out. I wasn't charging or anything. And here's another sign, like you said, we always get signs. I got a slip under my door from CUNY, and they had on there a fitness training program where I can get certified. And till this day, we never even got another brochure. So it was just like, that was definitely my calling. And I was just like, I'm going to go for it. So it was like myself and a cousin of mine who was also into fitness. He worked out. And we was just like, let's go ahead and do it. And to my surprise, I didn't think I was going to start a whole company out of it all. So that was like the real, like, okay, like, I'm paying attention to these signs. They're happening too often. And why not? And that was the shift.
Nice. That was really nice. I just like the progression of how everything goes in our lives. It'll be simple things, and you get the message, and once you get the message, you don't really hear it, but sometimes God has to, he has to.
You gotta snatch you.
You gotta snatch you. Sometimes we gotta hit our head up against the wall, and you're like,
yes.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yes.
So that's nice how you actually, you listened.
Yeah.
That's what's really good. One of the things you mentioned earlier that I want to get back to, you actually talked about gut health. So can you really explain to my audience what exactly is gut health, and why is that important?
Great question. So gut health, and this is funny because I get asked that a lot. And for one, it was definitely the cure for me. Like, when I started really focusing on that, the gut is, like, they always say it's like your second brain. They work interchangeably, right? Like, if you don't have a healthy gut, you may, depression, foggy brain, other issues can particularly happen. So I always get people to understand, like, the gut. What is it? Where is it? It's a part of your digestive system, right? And your digestive system literally starts from the tip of your tongue all the way to your anus, okay? So what does that mean? From the moment of what you put in your mouth all the way until, you defecate and eliminate, that goes through your full digestive tract. And a lot of times, we don't eat the particular right foods or things in place that can be able to, that interferes with having a healthy gut flora. So like a gut health is like, like an overall, like, how you say, like, your body, right? Your full body. Like, I have total health or optimal health. You'll hear that. Gut health is literally as it pertains to the digestive tract, and it mostly means in a sense of having a healthy gut flora, also known as a gut microbiome. Mm-hmm. So this is the the flora fluids in your gut to be able to like healthy break down foods and things particularly like that. And where the gut health starts to be compromised is, like I said, the kind of foods that we eat, whether they have fried foods, harsh fats for the body, like trans fats. If you had medication, antibiotics is a big harsh to the body because it pretty much kills out all bacteria. We have to have good bacteria to be able to support a healthy gut flora, like I mentioned. So that's the gist of what like gut health is and why it's important to to really pay attention to the gut. A lot of people follow behind or may have known Dr. Sebi, and he talked about, all the diseases that has been pressed upon the body starts in the gut.
Yes.
And one of the main things as far as any kind of disease, it starts with mucus. So, if you want to start clearing up these things and break up, if you have sinus issues, for me, when I started really paying attention, okay, why am I having excessive body acne? Why is my hair falling out and breaking out? Why am I always congested? Why am I not going to the bathroom like I'm supposed to? Why am I having excessive, I was getting eczema? What is all this coming from? Why am I having dandruff? And that's when I started to really learn about gut health and what these things started to cause. And that opens up a whole great, that's where for me, my brand is Elsie Fit You, Optimal Health. And that's where I Optimal Health and Fitness Lifestyle. That's where it starts to really sit in there. If you start with that first and start doing all these other, I feel like I did it backwards. I went from the fitness and then started other things. But when you start from taking care of the gut health and everything out, it from energetically to actually physically, so many things start to heal.
Yeah, that is so true. One of the things, even when I working with my clients, we talk about probiotics. And also fermented foods, making sure you get those into your diet to correct your gut flora and to correct your to help with the microbiome in your gut.
Yeah.
So that's something that's really important. So I'm pretty sure that's something that you discuss with your clients as well, and what type of probiotics they can use.
Yeah, so within my 30-day system that I have them to do, we really focus on, a probiotic blend that I have them on is called Biomedic, and it is where it really helps it's a prebiotic, probiotic, digestive enzymes, and minerals. So it has humic and fulvic acid. So these are helping to kind of release and detox from the gut, as well as putting in the healthy probiotics and prebiotics for the healthy gut microbe. So healthy microbiome, there we go. So when we eat particular things and they're so harsh onto the body, we have these things called villi in the gut, right? Mm-hmm. So it kind of looks like fingers. And as we eat particular things and it starts to get weak in between the villi, that's where it starts to spread. And then that's where you hear what's called a leaky gut, right?
Yes.
And the probiotics and things like that, particularly that you provide into the body, and this is where the microbiome, it starts to clean out all of the junk that's sitting within there that starts to separate, heal it. So, just think of these as little webs with little scrapes, and they're starting to fall apart. When you get healthy, when you take out all the junk foods and things like that you're particularly eating, but you get things and herbs and stuff like that can start to heal the in between the villi, it starts to kind of reheal and bind together again. And that's pretty much what we particularly focus on. Also, too, it pulls the minerals, the fulvic acid and stuff. They have a detox effect. So it's kind of like a vacuum. You get what I'm saying? Where it starts to really pull these things out from the intestines and kind of scraping the wall. Kind of like here in New York City, you have the street cleaning. I don't know how clean they really do, but you get what I'm saying? It kind of buffs and cleans within and start to heal when you start putting healthy superfoods, fermented foods and things like that to kind of create a healthy gut flora and binder around the intestines. So it's key important, but it's not just probiotics. And it's then that goes into detail of the kind of probiotics, because I worked in the pharmacy, right? Mm-hmm. So I was taking all of these over-the-counter vitamins that I ended up learning was synthetic, and I was always on probiotic, and I never understood how the heck can I, after I've been using and taking these things for ages, since I probably got really serious with it maybe about 14, how am I having vitamin deficiencies? And how am I having, I was having a lot of gut flora issues, bacterial vaginosis, those issues. Why am I having all of these issues? And how did I end up having an autoimmune issue? And that's when I started really studying And just kind of just moving over. Nothing against, I'm definitely letting you put in disclaimer. I'm not a doctor, but and nothing against the doctors that do all the studying and all those things pertaining to that. But I was really worrying about myself. I have to put that out there because people kind of feel like, well, there's doctors that's doing all these tests. How are you going against them? That's fine if it works for someone. But as far as for myself and my clients who have experienced the same thing, I personally believe in a lot of indigenous practices that has been on this world way before, as far as the doctors and the sciences that are out, but has been tested to show, there's a lot of clinicals out there. I started really learning the in-depth of that a lot of the over-the-counter stuff was literally taking like a microorganism of an herb or of the different fibers and things that we particularly need for our gut, and then kind of filling it with other stuff for
Yeah, some have fillers in it, as we know.
Yes, a lot of fillers, and that was like a big shock for me because I ended up finding out a lot of the things that I was using were all synthetic sources of multivitamins. They had a lot of binders, fillers, sugars.
Yeah, that's
and pork, because I ended up giving up meat, and I was just like, oh, it has gelatin in here. Like, I've been still eating pork, so it gets pretty, it can be like a lot, but those are things that I really focus on, like educating with my clients and getting them to kind of understand, but make it really simplistic. They have like a one system right there that can help. It pulls everything out, but put right back in as well, so that's the gist of what it is, but it's super important to have like a prebiotic, probiotic, and some digestive enzymes to support.
Nice. And even as you were talking about the vitamins, I'm pretty sure that the system that you just suggested actually is more, I would say, I like to say high vibrational, so it's really probably coming from the source. And
yes.
When I use the term high vibrational, we're talking about foods.
Alkaline.
Yeah, that come from the actual, in their most natural state. So what we say alkaline, and as we both know from Dr. Sabi, disease cannot live in a body that is alkaline.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. A lot of times, when someone has and now those were things, like I said, I was getting a lot of it from synthetic sources. And the body does not know how to, we have to look at everything we put in our body. Like, remember I said the digestive system starts from the tip of the tongue out. Our body is like a human data. You know what I'm saying? So like the foods and things that we put in has to be able to correlate. It's like a communicator. You know what I'm saying? So it's no difference than, like, I only speak English and a little bit of Spanish. If someone comes to me speaking French, I can't communicate. So when we have things that are synthetic source that our body naturally does not know how to take and receive, there's a barrier right there. And then that's where you might see where there's articles out there that says doctors, because people don't read between the full line, and I've had conversations with clients with this where they're like, oh, well, doctors say vitamins don't work, you pretty much urinate it out. And it's because those are synthetic sources. They don't talk about getting from whole food sources, meaning grown from the ground, processed as less as possible. You know what I mean? So your body could actually absorb it and use it. It's supposed to be like basically food to your body. So I've been grateful that, the sources and things that I provide for my clients are whole food source, grown from a farm, manufactured and grown in one space, no third parties. And that was super important to me, because the more that it starts to kind of go through other hands and things that have to be processed, that's less of the things that your body's going to be able to take on and absorb and use. Anything the body does not use, it secretes, right? Or stores for fat, depending, if it's certain fat soluble. So yeah, I always tell people, like, if you're going to use any kind of supplement, whether it's something that I personally, like even my clients, if it's something I personally recommend, at least let it please come from a whole food source. So use whole food supplements, and make your own. But a lot of people say, oh, I don't like supplements, thinking, and they're mostly talking about synthetic sources, not whole foods, because if they know, they'll be able to see, it's just herbs and superfoods, depending on what it is. So I always tell people, make sure it is a source of that is whole foods and no other synthetics, binders, fillers, or anything like that. It's non-GMO. But I have people say, I don't like supplements. I'd rather eat XYZ. And that's great. But how much are you going to eat that your body actually needs? So this is why, you know, if you want to go ahead and juice it and get things, that's great. But for me, I know that a person can't consume but so much. So that's where I would recommend forms of like herbs and other superfoods that already is like blended into place. It's quick, it's simple. Our today's life, we're very busy, we're on the go, you know what I mean? So, you know, everybody has their different modalities where they feel like they're most comfortable with, but I agree with you, Keisha, as far as making sure it comes from the source.
Yes, definitely. Excuse me. And I like the fact that one of the things you do with your clients is that you actually, if they want to make it themselves, because I'm more the type of person, I'm not good with the taking supplements. I'd rather make things myself. So you could actually, that's something that you could teach them as well. So that's really
yeah, because even still, like I have clients who like don't like to swallow pills or whatever. They're whole food sources. They could break the capsules and put it as food. So they're able to break the capsules, throw it in some smoothies, you know, pulverize whatever, and make it. Everything else is edible, like, you know, as far as we're drinking. So I do have a few clients that I have that struggle with taking pills, or they just don't like to. So, you know, they're able to break everything up, put it in applesauce or throw it in a smoothie or put it in another shake or something like that, and it works that particular way because it's food. So
yeah, definitely.
A little tip I tell people too, because most people when they take pills they kind of throw their head back, and it's kind of like when you throw it back and it starts to kind of shift the like as far as the gateway to your epiglottis, so it kind of starts pushing your pills to your teeth. And I always tell people, like, take your pill and put your head down. It opens right up. So that kind of helped some of my clients too. And it was like, oh my God, that's so much easier. Like, who knew? And then the rest, where it's just, you know, like a mental thing or whatever, we break the pills and put stuff in their foods.
That's nice. So what would you recommend for someone who's looking to take the first leap into living a healthier lifestyle?
The first leap I would say is to begin to educate yourself. If you just go on and start doing what someone says, it's going to feel like a diet, right? Now, I have people where I say, you know, like people who come and follow me, but I always challenge my clients and, you know, the people in my accountability group, I give them information and stuff to read, because when you start to really understand these things and learn your body and what it's doing and all that, you start to stay more committed. Rather than just tell me what to eat and do, because those be the people who just kind of have like this quick fix, and then they always have this yo-yo or whatever the case may be. So the first thing I always say is to educate yourself. Start reading about gut health, start understanding, start learning about like whole food sources, what's needed to cleanse the gut. Follow people, you know, like we live on Instagram and Facebook, you know, social media or whatever. Start following the sources of that. And then from there, as far as like really taking the first step, you know, start cleaning out do like a purge. You get what I'm saying? Get rid of all the junk food, things that we know. Like most people on the hands, if I say, what do you need to do to eat healthy? They already know, like stop eating chips, stop drinking soda, no fried food, you know, eat baked instead of fried, like all of those particular things. So take that leap. And then, like, you know, if you're really ready, this is where I always challenge people, come on board and start, you know, doing a form as far as cleansing and detoxing. And my method, I've done a lot of different detox, and I have some strenuous and some not as much. And even me personally, I've done a lot. I've done, you know, water fast. I've done juice fast. I've done straight all herbs. I've done raw diet, you know, raw vegan. I've done like a whole 40-day fast, like so many things that were great, but they like stripped everything from my body. I got like skinny, lost my booty. I was like, oh no, the world's over. Like, hold on now, I didn't lose my butt. So, yeah, so like with my method, I'm not just saying it because I do it, it's just from years of learning, studying, and working behind other herbalists and studying herbalism and these two particular things. I like the method that I started really using with my clients, and we kind of joke, and now it's in my marketing, where I was like, you cleanse your gut to keep your butt. Like, that's one of the things where we really focus on. So, like, you know, the 30-day system that I particularly use, our 30-day mind-body healing transformation. I really invite for others to do that because it's a great community for one, or if they work with me private one-on-one, there's two ways that they can go about it. It, like I said, it really starts you to hone in and start learning about your body. You also get educated through as your body is starting to heal, your gut is starting to heal, and you're replenishing and putting good superfoods, the right kind of aminos and minerals back into your body. So it's not just pulling everything out, it's pulling and putting back in. So it's a lot gentle. And this one you can eat. So I know when people hear like cleanse, detox, they be like, oh no, I'm hungry, I don't want to start. This one, our men and women are actually pretty full because you get to eat. You have a lot of shakes, like green juices, pretty much. So, and adequate water, the right kind of meals and things like that we recommend. So if that's something like where it fits for people, that's where I kind of invite them on. If some aren't ready, that's where I'm like, okay, educate yourself, start learning, baby steps, that works for you. Start cleaning up, like give up maybe 1 or 2 things a week. Like if it's just kind of like ice cream every night is my thing. How about maybe going to, having some sorbet at night instead of ice cream. Start with that, or get a banana, freeze it and blend it and make your own like ice cream, like they say. So that way you're still having something cold. Like start swapping and then eliminating and then start taking those steps.
Yeah, it's so important that when we are transitioning to this type of lifestyle that we take small steps. You don't do everything all at once, because that's when you will definitely give up. Or
it's too drastic. It's too drastic of a shock for your body. Like when I went on, I'm laughing because I'm laughing at my own self because I didn't make all the mistakes. When I took a big leap on and went, especially at this time, I didn't know I had the thyroid issues and stuff that I had. When I went and took a big old leap and went just full raw, and it wasn't even on purpose, but it went full raw vegan and only juicing and stuff, that was a little bit too much for my body. I ended up becoming too alkaline, and I started having other issues that started to rise. So especially when this is when I started to learn. It happened for a reason, but that's when I started learning other gut issues. I had candida overgrowth, and some of those things that I had to have more support to kind of really help to work with that first. So baby steps is good, but this is why I say it's important to learn these things as well, because probably if I kind of started taking the steps and started to understand and learn a little bit more, I wouldn't have went full on drastic from there. And then you don't stay consistent, like you said. It's like maybe you might do it for a month, 3 months top. You got to be. This is why I said my method is holistic and realistic. Let's be real here. Let's be real here. I have some who come to be like, I'm going to stop eating everything. I'm going to do it for the whole year. And I'm like, okay, let's pull you back. Because people do get frustrated where they are. I get it. Especially belly fat. That's the biggest thing that I have clients that I work with that I have to talk to. And you get so frustrated that you want to take this big old drastic leap because you're so tired. And when you take those little steps, you actually stick to it more. And this even goes with fitness. I have people who be like, I want to work out 6 days a week. I'll get 1 day rest. And I'm like, that's not realistic. I mean, I can take your money if you want to go ahead and pay me $100 to $600 a week. Cool. But that's not realistic. So it is. Baby steps are so important.
Yeah, definitely. Even going back to what you saying, as far as how your body reacts, I remember going through that when I first changed my diet. I don't know, I guess I was being ambitious. I didn't follow exactly what the herbalist told me to do. I was like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to eliminate all of this out of my diet. And I got so sick.
Yep.
And then that's what happened to me. Think that, it's not working. But it is. Your body's not.
Your body's starting to rise. Everything's coming up. But this is why they say taper.
Yeah. So definitely. I have to agree with you. That has happened to me.
Oh God, when that happened to me, I was like, oh my God, I'm dying. This whole vegan lifestyle. Give me some eggs. Give me some meat. Like that. And some people do that. I've actually had someone before that I worked with, and I was like, we were trying to figure things out and doing elimination diet. And she went, a little too drastic, taking that thing, and she's like, oh, this don't work, and kind of went right back to just the old methods and ways of eating. And I was like, it's not working. It's everything. It is working, but a little too drastic, and we need to take baby steps. So I like that term by you saying ambitious. I'm gonna use that. Like, okay, let's not be so ambitious.
Yeah, I was very much so, because I was really like gung ho about, getting healthier and
Healthy, yeah, you're
better.
so weird,
Yeah, I wasn't feeling well, and I wanted to feel better. So I was really
yeah. And that takes
was
time. You got to think about everything that we've used to eat, and it didn't happen overnight when we started feeling like crap. You know what I'm saying? It didn't happen overnight when we gained weight or we weren't feeling good, or what I mean, it creeped up, right? It was just like drops in the bucket. So we can't just go and pour all the water out and just think like, okay, this is where we can go. Now, it is very possible to cleanse and release everything out, put some good things in, and taper like a method. And that's why I like the method that I've really started using within my program. And I really don't deviate anymore because, like working with so many people over the years, I probably have worked with over about 300 people throughout this program. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I have so many things that there's a million ways you can skin a cat. Let me just say that. And, when it comes, and, as a coach as well, like when it comes to the body and nutrition and healing, it gets so complex. You know what I mean? And like you said, people want to get healthy. They want to lose weight. I got this. I have to get in my bikini. I got to, whatever it is that they particularly crave and want. And it's just like this big thing that you feel the change. It's very possible. Like I have people who feel good within 4, 7, and 10 days, but it's still a gradual thing. So it's so important. But oh man, it's funny. We could probably laugh off thing about all the crazy stuff we probably do ourselves, which is good because it makes you a great coach. Like I can live through it myself, and when I see clients, or I'm able to catch them if they're not following the program and they didn't went a little too overboard. I'm like, you didn't went and had this, didn't you? Or you didn't went and did this a little bit too much. Because I'm able to know when they might be ambitious, like you said, and went too far with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Lauren, can you tell the audience where they could reach you and your social media handles and anything that else you want to share with the my audience, and see how they might want to connect with you?
Yeah, so Instagram and Facebook, I'm at LCFitsYou. That's LCFITSYOU. You'll also see on Instagram where you can get to Curl Sweat for those who like the Curl Sweat class. So that's also on Instagram at Curl Sweat, one word, CURLSWEAT. And my website is lcfitsyou.com. And yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for coming on today. This was wonderful. And I'm so happy that I was able to connect with you and that we were able to come together and you were able to come on my program today. I'm really honored, and thank you for taking time to do so.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate you having me on, Keisha. And it's such a pleasure to just vibe with you, period. We've had that from day one. Yeah, I guess that's why we always like stay close over these years. And it's important that we have more people who look like us. We need people who are into the holistic healing to really help and heal our communities as far as Black and brown communities, because we suffer a lot. Diabetes, high blood pressure, all those things are so needed. So it's a pleasure and a breath of fresh air. I feel like the color purple when I see another brown person. When I see, I'm like, oh my God, you're in holistic healing, please, thank you. It's so refreshing because we need more of us. And that's like where I'm big about. Like I started a Holistic Healers Coalition, really like having us to kind of start stepping forward. We need platforms like yours. Dropping Gemz is so needed and appreciated, that you have that. So thank you for having me, allowing us to be here to share the message, because it goes so much bigger than myself, is so much bigger than you, and you just following, your mission to do this is just a blessing, and it's divine. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. I am humbled and honored. Thank you.
I would like to thank our guest Lauren Wells for coming on this episode of Dropping Gemz After Show and sharing all her knowledge and all about fitness and how it relates to our health. I also want you to check out her virtual classes because they sound like so much fun. I have to check out one myself. And I would like to thank you for watching. Thank you so much. Holistic health and much abundance to you. I'll see you next week.